Right then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Paul. People also call me Nik Nak for various reasons. I also have this habit of rolling up my sleeve and waving my arms about, which you possibly guessed. And I'm also a man who does the Daily Teaser. You'll see those float past on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter every morning. But what you might not know is that I also write about TV shows and films that I watch. Tonight, I've been watching something I've watched for years. I've watched another episode of Doctor Who. And tonight's episode was called Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, which sounds strange, but actually is quite a title. It's a very descriptive title, but it sounds sillier than the episode is. Let me try and give you a potted summary, shall I? Episode 4 of Series 12 of Doctor Who, and as I've mentioned, the title is Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. It opens up with famous scientist Nikola Tesla, played by Goran Vizenjik, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. I think it's Goran Vizenjik. Could be wrong, could be right. But it sees Nikola Tesla giving a presentation about his Niagara generator to potential investors. It's a presentation that doesn't go as well as the inventor expects, and it ends when at least one of the investors leaves, and when one of Tesla's assistants quietly finds and tells the boss about the dead body that looks like it's been electrocuted, and near part of the generator that's got missing parts. It's only then that Nikolai and his assistant, Miss Scarrett, played by Hayley McGee, gets interrupted by the Doctor, asking if they've seen anything weird, and if something's been shooting them with a Silurian laser blaster. It turns out the Doctor's been chasing a rather strange energy source, and it leads directly to Mr. Tesla, who's been having trouble finding investors, having trouble with his business rival, Thomas Edison, played by Robert Glenister, and trouble working out what the small glowing green thing is. Inventing alternating current is possibly mild by comparison. Now, did I see a good episode? Have I? I can hear you asking me. I can hear you saying, Paul, have you seen a good episode tonight? No. I've actually seen a bloody fantastic... No, scrub that. I think I've actually seen one that's near perfect tonight. The dialogue is well written and very snappy. The arc of the story goes from A to Z at the end quite well. There's no big speeches getting in the way. There's no big message, which sometimes welcome, sometimes it isn't. And at the moment, no messages in tonight's episode, as far as I'm concerned, is welcome. The dialogue, as I've said, is snappy. The rivalry between Tesla and Edison, it's nicely done. They've got it down as practically a rivalry between Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, with it's beautiful to watch. It really is, but it's that kind of relationship. Possibly more like, now we're going to use that as a distinction, possibly more like between Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, the two original Apple founders. Their relationship was quite rocky at times, so it's like that. But it's also well written, it's well drawn, it's beautifully plotted, and the actual resolution at the end of the episode is very well done. I don't know how historically accurate it is, but it's like many a history-derived Doctor Who story. It introduces us to some well-known historical figures. It emphasises their importance. It's not necessarily accurate. I don't think Edison's research faculties were quite that bad. I don't think Tesla was quite that much of a disaster. But it introduces them to to real world figures and tries to draw them as well as it can. It tells us something about them, and I think that's quite good to see. There's also the question of the alien of the week, the monster of the week, the Queen of the Skidra, played by former Sarah Jane Adventure actress Anjali Mahindra. I hope I've got that right, Miss Mahindra, if you're watching. She's spot on. She's sexy, she's villainous, she's suitably nasty. She looks like you're going to get your eye poked out by one of those nails any minute now. She's nicely done. On top of that, this particular episode, it actually gives Yaz, Mandeep Gill, it gives her something to do. I've been waiting a year and a bit to see that, and they finally give her an episode. At any rate, it gives Mandeep Gill something to do. I've been waiting a year and a half for that. And she gets put nicely into a position where she's not only helping the Doctor, but she's helping Nikola Tesla and getting Thomas Edison out of trouble. Ignore the beep. It's beautifully done. I have to say, last week's episode, Orphan 55, at the time, seemed heavy-handed, but generally well done. It was nicely done, the acting was okay, the writing was okay, but it seemed okay. Then, of course, along comes Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, tonight's episode 4, and my God, they've done it good. They've got it nailed down to the grain. Orphan 55 seems clunky. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror is absolutely great. Between the writing by Nina Mativier, between Nida Manzoor's directing, between Cole's, Gill's and Walsh's performances, and the 3 central characters as well. Let's not forget Jodie Whittaker in all this. The central character is so important to the show, and you can see her literally week by week improving and maturing how she's playing the Doctor. Beautiful to watch, and it's very good in this episode. Do I have criticism? No, I blooming well don't. Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror is an absolute gem of an episode, and frankly, well played to all the concerned. Go catch it on iPlayer, or go catch it wherever you're seeing it. Enjoy it. It's a good episode.